Hello and welcome to the December update from the Tau team. And without further ado, let's get into your Q&A questions for the month. The first question is from Dana and they ask, can you explain implicit synthesis and how controlled natural language or Tau language becomes a program or an execution?
The idea is very simple. As long as the whole information is in the given specification, then at each point of time you can plug in the current state and the current input and ask what should be the output and compute it in place.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Ahad. On to Dana's second question. He asks, can you explain step-by-step proof of execution and the implications of doing things this way? Will we require a blockchain or consensus?
The design of the proof of execution became less clear than it was before, for one reason, because Luca is currently not working with us because he went to finish his master thesis, and when he will come back, he will continue working on this. And another point is the heavy reliance of this algorithm on BDDs. Currently, the Tau language is not fully implemented in BDDs. We will need to see how to adjust either the design of the Tau language or the proof of execution algorithm to support this, so that there is some work in the future to do on this front.
All right, amazing. Thanks, Ahad. And the next question is, was two variable fragment with counting achieved? Would you like to elaborate on how this was achieved, if it was? And if it wasn't, would you like to go into detail what the challenges were?
Part of it using new methods, and part of it using existing literature, algorithms from existing literature about this specific subject. The way it is solved, it is converted into a different kind of problem. It is converted into a problem in arithmetic, and then we have to use SMT solver to solve the arithmetic problem. The main challenge is to have a good algorithm. A good algorithm is algorithm that runs fast on easy cases. It's not always terrible, and the algorithms from the literature are not so good. So we had to improve on them, and this is basically finished. Now we are writing the code.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Ahad. And the next question is from Mustafa. And they ask, does Tau have any upcoming announcements on partnerships? That's probably related to the NVIDIA question that we get quite a lot. NVIDIA have approved a press release for us to put out about joining the NVIDIA Inception program. Now, our plan there is to be able to work with NVIDIA to be able to use our skills and expertise and the novel things that we've built at Tau to be able to help NVIDIA with their products. That's what we want to do. That's not what NVIDIA have said. I must state that. But we will be putting out a press release noting that we have indeed joined the NVIDIA Inception program. And what I'm going to be doing also is pushing them to add us to their website. And the next question is from Zeprince Good News. And they ask, how can I work at TauNet? I'd like to help the team build on exposure and publicity. I'd like to write its contents too, if it doesn't need AI already.
Well, first of all, thank you for reaching out. It's always great to have people interested in the project to the extent that they want to contribute time to help us grow. Obviously, our doors are open. Feel free to send me an email at killian@idni.org. And we'll take a look to see if it's a fit. And obviously that door is open for anyone who feels that he can contribute to the project. So we're always happy to see people coming up with their ideas. Thanks.
All right, fantastic. That's right. Get in touch with Killian at idni.org. Cheers, guys. And the next question is from Marco. And they ask, could TML in theory run directly on hardware, or is there some reason that it can't? Could an ASIC be made specifically for TML in principle? I'm just wondering about how much overhead there is since processors are based on Boolean logic, and so is TML. But there is the operating system abstraction layer in between.
So I guess it is possible in theory, but I don't think it is something we need, at least at this stage. Our main goal is to build Tau to the point that users will change next version by consensus, so they can add new features themselves. So adding new features or creating ASIC specifically for Tau. It can happen if users want it anytime later.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Tomasz. And the next question again is from Marco, and he asks, how will Tau programs be able to interact with hardware, like different communication interfaces and protocols, DAC/ADC, storage, memory, GPU, etc.? I suspect the TML runtime must provide support for those. Is it so? And what is it supported so far? And what is supported so far?
The Tau language can support any number of input and output streams, where at each point of time, there is one sentence in each input and output and state streams. And from the runtime, from the outside, we can connect it to anything. So there can be a stream connected to each port of the network, to the disk, to the keyboard, and so on.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Ahad. And the next question is from Marco, and they ask, how much effort will it take to specify a new language for use in TauNet? At what pace do you think they will realistically be added?
If you have implementation of the language as a standalone language, then connecting it to Tau is very easy.
And another question from Marco. Thank you so much, Marco, for all these questions. It's always fantastic to see you. Phoronix recently posted an article about Intel trying to reduce duplicate code in their Ethernet drivers. Shouldn't Tau with BDD be able to solve this kind of problem? Do you suppose Tau/TML will in the future be able to help create better drivers, libraries, and firmware?
Yeah, in the Tau language, it's definitely much easier to automatically eliminate duplicate code and then normalize the program. Yes, it definitely has added value on this front. Whether it is useful for firmware and so on, well, the Tau language also comes with a price. So at least the way we write it now, it will not be as fast as writing an optimized program in C++. And this optimization is going to be ongoing effort.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Ahad. And the next question from Marco is, will it eventually be possible to run Tau itself on a microcontroller?
I'm not expert in this field, but I don't see why not.
All right, I can't pronounce this name. It's Ken Neck. They've got a couple of questions, lots of different team members, so I'll go through them one by one. And the first question is, what partnerships have you got lined up, if any? Well, I did answer a question just like that earlier on the Q&A, so I'll skip this one. But if you rewind back, you'll get your question answered. And the next question is, what is planned for the testnet? Over to you, Karim.
For the version of testnet that we're planning to release by the end of the next quarter, which is Q1 of 2024, we are planning to have a proof of concept for a blockchain that essentially runs on the core Tau language, which means that both the Genesis block and each transaction will be specified as Tau code. So that's the skeleton. And then if I may answer the next question, which is what do we expect to have happened by the time mainnet is launched? Well, in order to go from testnet to mainnet, basically we need to basically fully test the proof of concept and show exactly how to write transactions in Tau and how we can essentially evolve the Tau code that governs the TauNet from one block to another by introducing modifications to the code as individual transactions that are proposed by each user, and by verifying those proposed transactions against the core Tau governing code that's already in effect at that time. So that's the plan for TauNet and what it will take to be able to move to testnet. Fantastic.
Thanks, Karim, for answering those two questions there. And the next question is, how does the token capture value? So I'll just start on this one. Well, while we can't talk directly about the value of Agoras and the price, we can talk about collective intelligence and the knowledge market on TauNet. So Agoras will represent all of the available knowledge and resources on the TauNet ecosystem, which will be growing over time as more and more users commit their knowledge to Tau. that will be a much more powerful resource over time. And the utility will grow rapidly as more and more users come to the system. And their question 5 is, I know you won't be able to speak to specifics, but have you lined up listings on any exchanges, tier 1 and tier 2, etc.? Well, in short, yes, we have another tier 2 exchange coming in Q1 of 2024. And then beyond that, it's only going to be tier 1 exchanges, or at least that's the goal. Tier 1 exchanges from there on outwards. Cheers. Question 6 from Ken Neck is, tokenomics, vesting schedules, etc. Has the team been selling their tokens? Well, our team are paid partially in tokens. And not only our team are paid in tokens, but some of our contractors, some of our partners, and those who have helped us along the way have also been paid in Agoras that we've made agreements for a long time ago. So yes, some of our team members are paid in Agoras, but we don't have any view on how they're paid in terms of their remuneration. And question 7, is there anything that I can read about you guys from non-affiliated AI researchers and builders?
Nothing that I'm aware of, but after we submit the patent, and we will also submit in scientific journals, and then I guess more interest will come from this field.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the next question is from Jim, and they ask, when can we expect the road to testnet? We, the community, would like to be able to follow the progress towards this goal. What is still needed for the road to testnet to be published?
Yes, so as I mentioned earlier, we're still on schedule to launch testnet by the end of the first quarter of next year. And I think the best way to follow its progress is to look at our monthly progress reports that we're giving here every month. We're also looking at publishing a high-level architectural diagram of how the testnet and the user-controlled blockchain will function. Look forward to that the first week of next year after the vacation.
All right, amazing. Thanks, Karim. And the next question is from Mohammed SK. And he says, hi, is the Agoras token mintable? If yes, why? If not, what is the mechanism of unlocking the 12 million coins after the mainnet launch? And how will this affect the price? Well, one of the things that we can't talk about is the price of the token, but we can control the development. If you're referring to being able to mint extra tokens, that feature is in the current ERC20 contract. However, we haven't used this, and we don't plan to use this without the community's consent. One of the things that we did talk about was increasing the token supply and airdropping tokens to users. So we basically split the tokens and increase the supply. But we haven't really settled on a plan there yet. And we don't really plan to do anything without the community's consent. And if we do, it will be in coordination with you guys. And you also asked about the mechanism of unlocking the 12 million tokens after launch. So that is something that we're still working on. And we'll be speaking again to you guys, the community members, to figure out the best way forward for that. Cheers. And the next question is from Marco. And they ask, can we use Tau to debug normal software or reverse engineer black boxes?
In theory, yes. In practice, there is quite some way to reach there.
And last question is from Saver, which is very fitting to the question. How soon can we get Agoras to have risk-free interest?
I don't know to say, but it will take some time until we reach a point where everything is so solid and we are free to deal with the derivatives market over Agoras.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. That is the end of the Q&A questions. That is it for December. And we will see you on Telegram, on Twitter, and in the new year. Cheers.